Just like having relevant and accurate information is necessary to make sound hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a sponsor of the Spark.
Lipscomb and Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb and Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of the Spark.
Additional funding for the Spark is provided by Christian Brothers University, Mueller Industries, Meriton, United Way of the Mid-South, MyTown Movers, MyTown Roofing, MyTown Miracles, and by Serves.
This month on The Spark, our theme is restoration and healing. We'll learn more about a nonprofit that brings stories to life to unlock healing and transformation. A farm where students and adults build skills and find purpose while helping restore life for rescue animals. And a company that's been helping residential and business customers overcome disasters and return to normal for more than 17 years. We'll also share a special moment from our Spark Awards 2017. Ever been excited by a new idea? Inspired by watching someone lead by example? When we talk about creating change, we start by sharing the stories of everyday heroes making a difference in their own way so we can learn and do the same. This truth is the power behind this show, which is focused on business and community leaders who are leading by example to give back, fuel change, and create new opportunities for the Mid-South. I'm Jeremy Park, and this is The Spark. They're a nonprofit bringing stories to life for healing and transformation. I'm here with the founder and director for Playback Memphis, Virginia Reed Murphy. And you being the founder, you have a personal storyline to this, so let's start with a little bit of history for Playback Memphis.
Sure. This is our 10th year. So I brought Playback Memphis to Memphis from New York City 10 years ago with my husband Joe. We were part of a playback theater company in New York City. And we saw the impact that our work was having there and felt like Memphis would be a good place to grow playback.
And so describe Playback Memphis, because it is stories, it's bringing them to life, but it is for healing and transformation. So there's a catalyst point of view for this.
Sure. So at our core, we are a performance ensemble, and at our performances, people from the audience share reflections and true stories from their lives, and then we have a team of actors and musicians that bring it to life on the spot. And it's always done in the service of building empathy, so it's a really powerful tool for really understanding what it's like to walk in someone else's shoes and to live in someone else's skin. So we have performances, but then we also have workshops and experiences where we use the practice of playback and integrate that with some strengths-based mindfulness and the language and lens of nonviolent communication.
Well, I think that's the idea, is you're using our personal stories and bringing those to life so that people have a better understanding of, like you said, putting yourself in someone else's shoes to create understanding and realize that we all can work together and move forward. Describe how many performances per year and the workshops. Sure. And how we can plug in.
Yeah. So we have 6 public performances a year called Memphis Matters, super special place, incredible cross-section of Memphians gathering at Theater South. And then we have 6 Community Matters. Those Memphis Matters performances help us to fund a tailored playback experience for a local nonprofit. And then our programming with the Memphis Police Department and Lifeline to Success is an essential part of who we are. We engage them in trainings. A 12-session immersive experience happens in the fall, and we've trained over 40 Memphis police officers and Lifeline team members. These are individuals who've been incarcerated. And so they're coming together to practice playback to it reflect on their professional and personal integrity and to garner the courage to act on the values that they want to see expressed in the world.
And share, from your point of view, some of the testimonials that you've received, because it's pretty neat to go online and just see, one, to see it play out, but two is to see the feedback from those and what they've learned from it and what they've seen.
Yeah. it's kind of extraordinary. And so I think one thing that stands out for me is, particularly in that program, working with police officers and individuals who've been incarcerated, you're talking about people whose work and life context, not only are they not allowed to express their feelings, they're really not allowed to have feelings. And so to be able to have a space that values so much being aware of feelings is something new, and that's at first met with quite a lot of resistance, but then once it's discovered in a way, it's almost like introducing people to oxygen, and they feel like they can breathe and feel the support of one another. And so there's so many testimonials. I mean, officers are continuing to be committed to this work, and they're now introducing it to new recruits. So we're now engaging all new recruits and using playback to teach the practice of listening and empathy. And I think officers are also recognizing, you know, that they've their own biases and talking about that in ways that is new. And the Lifeliners, also just, you know, the discovery of the gifts and skills that they have and what it can mean to support one another.
What do you think, from your standpoint, from a technical standpoint, with the talent, so to speak, and what they go through to listen and learn and bring that to life? What are some of the things that we can learn from that whole experience? Does that make sense? Like, what are some tips that you can give us?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that what people take away from playback is the power of intimacy that's always there. So I think in the world that we live in, which is so divided and so frenzied, and where you have so much information coming at us all the time, to be in a space where you have this kind of face-to-face connecting and realizing that everybody you pass on the street has a story, and everyone has all this interiority that we're bringing that, you know, is informed by our unique cultural context and what we experienced this morning, if we had a fight with somebody before breakfast, and if we all could, you know, kind of just be more aware of that and tune into that, then we can be there for one another in a way that will help all of us to, you know, make it through the day.
Absolutely.
Which
well,
is
and
kind
to
of
be
sometimes
stronger
tough.
together.
Yeah.
So how can we help? So, I mean, talk about, you know, obviously going to the website, but just what are some easy ways that we can plug in? I know financial contributions obviously is one piece of this to underwrite your efforts, but how can the public help?
Yeah, so I think coming out for a Memphis Matters experience, to be able to really experience it firsthand and feel the magic is one way. And yes, our work is supported by donors and friends, and so we certainly welcome that. There's volunteer opportunities. We're now engaged in schools. We're training young people in schools in Fraser, rooting our work and growing it there. So just reach out. There's all kinds of ways to plug in, and we welcome that.
So what's the website, social media, where do we go?
Yeah, it's playbackmemphis.org, and yeah, all the social media is connected. You can find it on there, Facebook, Twitter, all that.
Well, Virginia, I love everything you're doing and appreciate you coming on the show. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a farm where students and adults alike can go to build their skills and find their purpose. We're here with the founder and executive director for ARC Farms, Abby Mawong. And Abby, let's start with you being the founder, the executive director. You have a personal storyline to ARC Farms. So tell us where ARC Farms is and give us a little bit of that history.
So ARC Farms is on the north end of Memphis, where Bartlett, Raleigh, Millington all kind of touch. So we're about 2.2 miles north of Methodist North Hospital off of Austin Peay. And we started the farm because we found that it has a really restorative power for people who've been through traumatic life events. And we walked through that first. So
let's say you and your husband both have been through some pretty traumatic events.
Sure. When the doctor says you've got 3 weeks to live, and if you survive surgery, you'll never walk or talk again, that's when everything really hits the fan, and the family just goes, okay, where we go from here. And did survive surgery, and then 2 years later, after my husband had a similar event, and physically and medically, our kids really needed restoration and hope, and our family did. And so really, we were the first beneficiaries of the farm. So we founded the farm but the people that it restored first was us. And so that's really helpful. But people would come out to the farm and say, oh my gosh, this is incredible. You know who needs to come to the farm? My cousin Joe needs to come to the farm. So hence the website cometothefarm.org. But we found that there's a lot of restorative care and caring for the animals on the land and taking care of materials, and being able to just repurpose ourselves as a part of restoring our own life.
And you have rescue animals out there.
Every animal at the farm is a rescue unless they were born at the farm. We have horses, donkeys, chickens, ducks, cats, turkeys, sheep, and bees. And so talk about, you have obviously set programs where students can come, and during the summer, after school, you have adults. I mean, you have something for everyone to plug in, and it's skill building, it's purpose finding, it's restorative, it's healthy. I mean, talk about the programs. So our programs are really designed by our Youth Advisory Corps. We are entirely youth-led. We used to work with mostly adults and then entirely exploited populations. And we still do work with some of those groups. We work with Restore Corps, and we work with human trafficking survivors. We work with refugees and current and formerly homeless. But we found that people in the community also need the same things. They also need to be able to come out to a place where there are no expectations, there's no judgment. And so we put together a youth advisory panel of 11 to 17-year-olds, and they are the ones who drive all the programs at the farm. And they said to us, these are the things that we need. We need a place to do things we can't do anywhere else. We need a place where we can live without regrets. And I said, what does that mean? And they said, we need to be able to make a choice and they go, oh, I didn't mean it, I want to do something else. And so they literally drive all of the functions of the farm. So some of the programs you asked about were the summer programs. Youth internships happen during the summer. It's a 40-hour program where they get all of their community service hours they need for the year. But they also learn how to do everything from welding and driving a tractor to building a chicken coop and pulling fence wire. They also learn soft skills like working with people who are different than you. And the most exciting thing we do is we teach them how to see. Teaching a kid how to see, and an adult too, means I'll say, can you see? And they'll say, yes, I can see. And I'll say, all right, what do you see? And they'll look around and say, that trough needs to be filled, and it looks like that horse is limping, and these chickens keep getting out. We need to fix that hole in the coop. And so instead of us saying, this is what you're going to do today, this is what we're going to teach you, they're purpose driven. They decide what needs to happen. And if you ask any one of these kids, whose farm is this? They'll say, this is our farm. Wow. So that's like a life lesson right there, is what do you see for especially a child, and let them kind of imagine and then create their own adventure. But I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you've said it before, is the fact that these kids are out there, they don't really have the chance necessarily to drive like a backhoe, but yet you're allowing them to get on a tractor, and you're allowing them to go do things that they wouldn't normally have exposure to until maybe way later in life, but they're doing it at an early age where they really can dive in and have fun, but also too, these are skill building opportunities for them. They really are, and they're also an opportunity for them to use their seek and find that they don't get anymore. You know, kids live a lot like this, and we feel like we need to entertain kids with electronics and games and sitting behind a screen, and there's nothing wrong with that as a supplement, but they really need to go out into the woods and make their own trail and build their own fort. But in this, they're doing that because it's saving the life of an animal, and as they restore animals that have their own stories, they're also working to restore life for themselves. So how do we help? I know that there's opportunities obviously to come out and to see it. That's the first thing, is just come and see and be a part of it. But how do we help? How does the public help you? So one thing that we're doing right now is that the kids have decided that they want to collaborate with Memphis. We are the unknown asset that Memphis doesn't realize is there, but we're working to empower this generation. So what we would like to do is invite the community to come out, businesses to come and adopt a component of the farm. Whether it's helping us to get electricity to the barn so that we don't have to break ice all winter long, or if it's helping us get plumbing, or just come out and put your shoulder to the plow. Let these kids share with you the principles that they've learned, and you can speak back into their life and say, oh, wow, I think that you'd be great at fill in the blank. Encourage them, be a part of our programs. So we are inviting corporations, businesses, local individuals who want to get involved to come and be both trained by our young people and also share some of their adult expertise, and we'll really cross-pollinate, and that's how we continue to perpetuate that ecosystem model of we all matter here.
So tell us again the website, where to go, where do we go to plug in and to make a reservation to come out there?
That's right. So it is really important that you go to the website, cometothefarm.org, because that's what we all want to do, come to the farm, right? So cometothefarm.org, you can sign up to be a volunteer. You can sign up to make inquiries about becoming a corporate sponsor and adopting a program out there. And we're also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And so we just really invite the community to come and be part of everything that we have going on there.
Well, Abby, I greatly appreciate you coming on the show and sharing all the good you're doing. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and happy holidays.
The Spark Awards annually recognize and celebrate individuals and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the community. This year's recipient of the award for nonprofits with budgets over $5 million is Alsac St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Alsac St. Jude Children's Research Hospital exists for children who are suffering from cancer or other catastrophic diseases. And the mission of Alsac is really to provide the life-saving support and to raise awareness for the hospital. That's what we're dedicated to do. Our over 1,300 employees are dedicated not only to serving that mission, but to also serving the communities where we live and work. That includes here in Memphis, where our headquarters are located, but also around the country. We have 33 Alsac offices around the country, and so we love helping to improve the communities there as well. We really do not give bills to our patients for treatment, travel, housing, or food. And that is predicated on the idea that a family who has a child with cancer really needs to focus on helping that child get well and live a healthy, productive life. Over the years, St. Jude has really led the way. The world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer. Our global efforts really speak to that. And so if you think about the people who invest in our work, you understand that 75% of the hospital budget, that $2 million a day that you talk about, 75% comes from supporters, from the public. And so I think that people who work at Alsac really embrace that servant leadership philosophy. We see it at the top with our CEO and President, Rick Shadiak. And it's really a mission-based life when you work for Alsac St. Jude. By the way, Alsac is celebrating 60 years this year. And at our national team meeting, we actually gave service to 60 organizations in Memphis. 1,300 employees came for the training, of course, and we just spanned the city, and people picked up trash, or they volunteered in an elementary school, or they delivered Meals on Wheels for MIFA. That servant leadership mantra is very much a part of who we are.
And talk about the success rate, how much you've changed that overall with lives. And I think it's just, it's mind-blowing to look at, you know, whether it was 4% at one point and now it's like 84%. So I mean, talk about moving the needle.
Absolutely. So when we opened our doors 60 years ago, the cure rate for acute lymphoblastic leukemia was 4%. It's 96% today. The overall, if you take the averages of all the cancers together, we've helped move the needle from 20% cure rate to 80% today, but that still means that 1 child in 5 will die of cancer. And so we're really dedicated to keeping our mission going till no child has to suffer from cancer or die from cancer, so that we can really have a 100% cure rate.
They're a company helping their residential and business customers overcome disasters and return to normal. I'm here with the president and the owner of ServiceMaster by Cornerstone, Mark Jowers, along with Tyler Padgett, vice president, ServiceMaster by Cornerstone. Started as a one-man carpet cleaning company, and now we're here today talking about all the good that you do here in the Mid-South. But Mark, let's start with you. Give us a little bit of history for ServiceMaster by Cornerstone.
Okay, back in 1998, I wanted to start a business of my own, and had an opportunity to start a carpet cleaning business. So that one-man show was me. Starting a business at age 46 was a little tough, but 3 years into the business, we were able to purchase a franchise of ServiceMaster Clean. and it's been a good ride since then.
So talk about, there's 3 core values. Give us your 3 core values.
Well, first is integrity. That's one of the, integrity is one of the main things that we teamed up with ServiceMaster for, because one of their key objectives was to honor God in all that we do. So integrity is something that we teach and preach to our employees each and every day in everything that we do, whether it's the way that they take care of the truck, or just take care of the customer, or take care of each other. So integrity is very, very important to every one of us.
Nice. And then what are the other 2?
Innovation. Innovation is one that we encourage people to give us new ideas. We teach them what we do, but we encourage them, if they see a better way, to let somebody know that maybe there's another way that we can do this, and it'll be better for the customer and better for us in the long run.
And then the last one?
Consistency. We want to do the same thing every time. And matter of fact, I want us to be able to be, I guess, accused of if an adjuster or an agent goes to a job, that's a cornerstone job. That's a cornerstone job because we know they do it this way every time. So they get used to what we're doing, and we're doing it the right way.
So Tyler, let's switch over to you. I know that on the onset we talked about residential and business, so there's a commercial and residential side to this. Talk about what you do. I mean, it's very large to very small projects, and you're able to step in and mitigate and get people right back to where they need to be.
Right. So on the residential side, we have partner agents and customers that call us that could not be an insurance claim all the way to could be a devastating claim to their home. We go in, obviously, with compassion. We deal with the customer at their worst time. If it's a big ordeal in their home, most of the time people have never gone through that. We've got to show them compassion. On the other side of it is we'll walk into a business. A few months ago we did a hotel, and the roof got completely ripped off of it. 44 units completely affected, and we had to go in. This guy's losing thousands and thousands of dollars a day from customers staying in the motel. And so we had to go in and mitigate those damages, take care of those damages properly to minimize other damage in the middle of the summer. And we go in, doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter how small it is, we go in with compassion to take care of the customer.
And you're talking about everything from fire to water damage, mold. I mean, you cover a very wide spectrum.
Yes, everything from a huge water damage where the sprinkler head is blown off and flooded a building. A few months back, we mitigated damages very small for Memphis Rocks, a City Current partner that we work with. Also, from the standpoint of fire, we go in and we have to deal with the fire department. We have to deal with every city official that's involved in making sure that business gets put back together properly. Not just the owners or the property manager, but everyone that could be involved in that scenario.
You guys use a number of very, very innovative technological products, if you will, that might layman term, but you have everything from a machine where you can clean out the fabrics and the clothes and get those for those that were smoke damaged. So you have some really neat products that you can use to get people right back where they need to be. Yeah,
a few years back we adopted, instead of subcontracting out soft contents, which is anything from clothes, curtains, drapes, bed sheets, instead of sending that on, we brought that in-house because we felt like every other contractor that was on a claim made it very convoluted for the adjuster or the homeowner, so we brought that in-house. We were already doing all of the hard contents. So these items, if you have a fire or a bad water damage, we're able to bring them into our shop, process them through our contents room, bring the homeowner in for them to see their items being processed and restored, put into storage properly and taken care of. That way they have that peace of mind at the end of the day when we get done putting their home back together that we're going to bring their stuff back and it's going to be just as it was when we left.
Nice. Talk about, on your end, community service. I think this is something that it goes to the values of your company, the 3 core values, but you and your teams are out there serving, giving back, working with nonprofits. Obviously, you're helping them on the business side, but you're also helping them on the personal side. So, Mark, let's talk about, from your perspective, how important is the community service and the giving back with you and your company?
Well, it's interesting that it was our employees that came to us and said, how can we get involved and volunteer in the community? I've been involved with a few things, and now that we're involved with City Current, It's great because there's so many opportunities that we just need to pick and choose the ones that are the best for us that our employees want to get involved with. It's just, it helps the culture that we're building with our company. Giving back is part of what we want to do, and the employees get plugged in that way as well.
Well, it was neat. I mean, you personally came out to Samaritan's Feet, washing the kids' feet, over 500, giving them new socks and shoes. Your whole team was out there, which is amazing. So talk about the website, phone number, where do we go?
smcornerstone.com. Our number is 901-624-9200, and we're active on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
Well, Tyler, Mark, greatly appreciate all you do and for coming on the show and sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. This time of year, there's much to reflect on and be thankful for, and there's much to look forward to with the holiday season and new year ahead. As we look back, we'll find moments where we've been pushed and challenged, where we've fallen and found the strength to get back up and try again. And as we look ahead, we can see how those moments make us stronger and better appreciate what we have and the people who surround us. It's those people and organizations like Ark Farms and Playback Memphis that help turn darkness into light, that help us become stronger, build character, and connect us, to heal us and restore us. Then companies like ServiceMaster by Cornerstone are there when disaster strikes to make sure that fire, water, mold, and other damages are only temporary, that normal can be restored. There's always going to be bumps in the road of life, but if we focus on love and helping each other, we have a bright future ahead here in the Mid-South. Thank you for watching The Spark. To learn more about each of the guests, to watch past episodes, and to share your stories of others leading by example, visit WKNO.org and click on the link for The Spark. We look forward to seeing you next month as we kick off Season 7, and we hope that you'll join with us in creating a spark for the Mid-South. I hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Just like having relevant and accurate information is necessary to make sound hiring and lending decisions, being engaged in our community is important. DataFax is proud to support the positives and be a sponsor of The Spark.
Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is honored to serve the Memphis community for over 60 years. We've always focused on supporting our community and believe in promoting the positives, encouraging engagement, and leading by example. Lipscomb & Pitts Insurance is proud to be a presenting sponsor of The Spark.